All right, folks.
Great radio.
Yeah, great radio.
Great radio.
Well, it's not radio.
Yeah, I know.
Podcasting. And so Coach Shishkeski got a little mad at his own Duke fans last night, Hunter.
I know.
He was angry, if you're reading this story here, by the Cameron Crazies.
Wow.
Who directed a playful Jeff Capel sit with us chant. Capel, of course, former Duke Blue Devil, famous for his game-tying shot to send the Blue Devils into overtime from half court a long time ago. Tar Heels won that game. Everybody forgets about. But, Hunter, I mean, for 10 years growing up, everybody did the Jeff Capel shot, and all the Tar Heel fans were like, you know you lost.
You lost.
Like every Duke fan. We'd walk in the gym, they'd shoot from half court. Jeff Capel! Well, you took the L.
You took the L. You took the L.
That was like Marcus Page may have hit one of the greatest shots in championship history.
Yeah, we still lost.
And lost.
He
got beat by a more crazier shot after it.
Well, no, his shot was more impressive in the national championship game than the one that won the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
It will always be overlooked because you lost.
Well, I always contend they lost because North Carolina should have had better recruits than Villanova, and we have Nate Britt, and they have Nate Britt's brother winning the championship.
Yeah,
in our faces.
Yeah, we had Nate Britt.
I can't stand Nate Britt. He was a walking turnover.
And he played out of control.
And then he went. Then his brother. I used to, Hunter, when it happened, I said, Nate Britt is so bad, his brother beat us in the championship game.
Yeah. He did. He really did. His brother had a great game, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, Coach K started yelling at the fans to shut up, run across the court yelling at the fans to shut up, saying he's one of us. But
last I checked,
he's not.
He's not. He was at one point.
He was.
But right now, he's coaching Pittsburgh.
So is Coach K's point of view is you guys can say and do whatever you want as long as it's not a former Duke player. Because they lets them say some and do outrageous things.
Oh,
he's not the lead. I mean, he's not the leader of them.
Exactly
he doesn't make the chant sheet.
This is how crazy that Duke Cameron Crazies are is the reason. My mother cannot stand Duke. She is a graduate of NC State, or God help her. And she told me about a story. The reason why she really cannot stand Duke fans is because one of the chants that they did when they were playing NC State is, "That's all right, that's okay. You're going to work for us one day." And I was like, the arrogance.
That's pretty good, though.
It's good if you think about it, but the arrogance, man, that's just so arrogant.
I will say this. I like funny cheers.
Yeah.
The mean ones are a little bit too much. And the fact of the matter is, for him to hear the ones that are directed, he hears the ones he don't like.
Right.
But he never hears the other ones directed at other teams. And he don't hear those, but there's certain ones he can hear.
Now, if you saw did you see the video of him? Like he was fired up.
All right, so
Coach K was like, hey, that was burning his britches.
He said, I don't know if I made a mistake on that, but I've never heard another coach's name yelled out in the middle of the first half, when we're in a war with the team. First of all, you're playing a basketball game, not a war. You coached at the Army. You should know this. I don't know if they were saying, "Come sit with me." We got a different look at what the hell was going on. I thought it was something personal, and I apologize for the students for that. So Coach K saying he thought it was something personal at Jeff. He said he was still miffed at the timing while noting he was always defend his former player and assistant. He said, "You shouldn't say that in the middle of the first half, an ACC game. This isn't some cutesy little thing. I'm not going to say, will you please tell me exactly what you're doing, so it's a mistake on my part, but I'd rather make the mistake and protect my guy. Let's think of a different cheer, like defense." Now, Hunter, in 30 years, now he wants to do a different cheer like defense.
Yeah.
In 30 years of saying whatever they want to the Carolina and State coaches, now why are we not chanting defense, Hunter? This dude, this dude, man, he thinks he's something else. But
he thinks there's method to his madness. And it's just madness.
Yeah. So Duke, here's some things people don't pay attention to. Obviously, if you'll notice, every basketball game you watch on TV, all of them in the NBA.
Yeah.
99% of them in college. Watch the TV, Hunter, because on TV you'll notice what's at the very top of your screen. See if you can.
Talking talking about the watermark?
No, well,
The ESPN
in that
watermark?
it's in that area. So you're watching a basketball game. You see the court. You got the watermark. But what's at the very top of the screen, pretty much all the way across the top, both corners. What can you see for most of the game? The benches.
Oh, you're talking about,
Right. Not an overlay.
Yeah.
Well, so when you're watching a basketball
like the actual picture. Yeah.
right,
You
when
can
you're
see
watching
the
a game,
benches,
you can always see the benches.
except
can't
at
you?
Cameron.
Yeah.
You can't see it at Cameron. It's reversed.
What am I saying? What I'm saying is for years, everyone's known it. And NC State, Carolina, all the fans have known it. Coach K has a potty mouth. He says all kinds of bad words. He acts like a fool sometimes, throwing and stomping tantrums and yelling at referees and acting like a fool. I wonder why Duke is the one Hunter that doesn't have their home court seats on the side where the TV can catch Coach K and his antics. They don't. They've got them zoomed in on the camera and crazies. They're only like 4 rows deep, and it makes them look like the whole stadium's full of crazies. So they zoom in on that instead of showing Coach K cussing every 3 words at everyone. And then you saw it on display. He just lost his. I think he's got a temper problem. Stomped across the floor yelling at his fans. But I mean this goes into he doesn't play away games either. He does not play away games out of conference that's been assigned to him.
Neutral.
By the ACC.
They're neutral sites.
They're all neutral. So
neutral sites, and mostly in the state of New York.
I think I went through 1 year count. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. So the numbers aren't going to be accurate.
You could equivalent him to being the Nick Saban of college basketball,
right,
where they don't play true away games out of conference.
They do not.
They
just don't.
Neutral sites. If it's not in Dallas for Nick Saban or in Georgia for Nick Saban, it's in New York for Coach K. They always want to play
at Madison Square Garden.
At the Garden.
And what he says is that, in the tournament, you play in these big arenas and these other things, you don't have to go on the road and play people. Maybe. So, is he concerned about his win-loss record? Is that why we schedule, all these cupcakes at the first of the year and then at home? That's the thing. You're better than that. So why don't you go on the road? So
isn't St. John's located in New York?
Yeah.
Then how many times have they played St. John's but at Madison Square Garden?
Every time.
They don't play at St. John's.
They
play at MSG.
So he was mad at his fans. So I kind of want to get on this.
Yeah.
He even brought up Kobe in it, and very emotional, and that whatever, Coach K. That's a totally different subject. Different day, a few days later. I understand, but come on, man. Some of this stuff is just, it gets silly. What I was saying, Hunter, I did the research on it a few years ago, and I can't remember I think about the last 5 or 6 years when he just quit playing them at all. But I went back and was counting road games that they actually played.
Yeah.
And every year it was like 1 or 2. And then almost every year, one of them was a loss. All of his losses were coming in these road games. So they just shut those down completely.
Out of conference.
Yes, out of conference road games. Because in the conference, you can't.
He can't get out of it.
He can't. So he plays. Well, how many road conference games a year? How many do they have to play? How many games? Do you know how many regular season games we play in the ACC?
No.
I'll
Probably
do a quick search down the Duke Blue Devils schedule. Let's see this shenanigans. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They opened up the season
first 8 games
with 8 games at home.
Or neutral site, because the Kansas game was neutral.
Where was the Michigan State game? Was that neutral, or did they actually go to Michigan State this year? Was that the Big Ten Challenge and they went there?
I think they did.
Whose card? Is that Andre's card? I just heard.
Probably.
Andre's bringing Hunter some Chinese food here in a minute.
Yeah.
So Hunter's going to be incapacitated for a little bit, I think.
I'll wait. I'll wait to eat it. I can wait.
Can you wait on Chinese food?
I'm not
wait Chinese food.
I can wait on this.
So Duke decided to play 10 straight regular. Is that the? That's the latest ones. 10 straight home games start the season. Michigan State, at Virginia Tech, which is assigned. Then home Wofford, home Brown, home Boston College. Now, and so when Alabama plays them, Hunter, they make the excuse that we have a bigger stadium. We'll sell more tickets. We'll just pay you guys what you would have made at the smaller stadium.
And you can't do that at Cameron.
But Duke doesn't have a bigger stadium.
They have probably the smallest stadium.
It's the same stadium. Appalachian State has the same stadium size as Duke.
And they bring,
That's all I need to tell you.
And they bring in nearly nowhere the money Duke brings in.
So North Carolina played at App State one time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 9,000, just as many seats as Cameron. So they came at 9,000 seats, and so when you play, so Wofford, Brown, there's Boss guys. That's Wofford and Brown though. Let's see who else would it not be better for those schools to have Duke come into them for these students to get to see the Duke players like Central Arkansas, Georgia State, Stephen F. Austin beat Duke. What if that was at home?
That was at home.
I mean,
you mean for Stephen F. Austin?
Right.
Yeah, they
well,
beat,
that was
they beat them at
for them.
Duke. Yeah.
So then you look down the schedule, and there's no more away games except ACC. So they don't play a single unless it was Michigan State that game.
Well, I think it was.
I think it did. I think they got forced to
because it was
this
the Big
year.
Ten. Yeah, because the Big Ten
Yeah.
ACC challenge, and so they had to play Michigan State on the road. And then it's the question of, well, why don't you look at their rival? What's North Carolina's schedule been like this year? What's North Carolina?
Well, they do the same thing.